Hello everyone, welcome to match day number 3 here in Group B with the first match on the third match day with USA versus France. With me here today is once again top 4 World Championship finalist, OCC caster and Team USA member Tenetron. Good to have you here, how are you doing?
Good. Really hopeful to be doing good in about another hour and a half when we see the results of this USA game. They have a lot to play for. I think they've been basically designing all of their strategy around trying to 3-0 today, as that might be the only way they can kind of guarantee themselves a trip to the finals, which is very desperately wanted, especially after an earlier than wanted exit last time in the Nations Cup. So trying to get back to glory here and very excited to see what they've cooked up.
Yeah, I mean, you already mentioned it, right? Let's take a look at the situation here in Group B. As we are seeing, USA currently on rank number 3, playing against France. So the only way to secure a spot in the semifinals today if USA wins 3-0 against France. That would give them 8 rounds won and 5 rounds lost. And that means there is no way that Canada and Germany can finish in front of USA. But as soon as USA loses one match today, that means USA is already in this. Germany is already in semifinals, and it depends a lot if Canada or USA advances on the result of tomorrow. So as you said, 3-0, then it's in USA's hand that they advance to the semifinals. Otherwise, they have to rely on Germany. But also France is not completely out today. If they 3-0 USA today, and then Germany wins against Canada 3-0, or I think with any win, then France is in the semifinals. And that's pretty amazing how much is still possible in this group. France with a really bad start here into this year's Nations Cup, but still able to advance. And that's, yeah, kind of impressive to me how much is possible. We just saw yesterday. I want to speak about this in a second here. But it's just it comes down to the final match, right? It's still you're still not out until any match is played. Yeah. So that's really cool. I did not really I wrote or I spoke so many teams out after match day 2 and they're still I spoke Russia into the semifinals. Now they're out. I spoke France out of Nations Cup, but let's see what's happening here. If they 3-0, there's still a chance they advance. Anything can happen, and it's just really surprising to me. And speaking about what is surprising, yesterday we had the situation that China needed to 3-0 Ukraine to advance to the semifinals. Unfortunately, Ukraine did not was not able to gather 3 players, and also did not feel in shape to play with 2 players. They did not feel well prepared, so they kind of just forfeit the match, and therefore China won 3-0, exactly what they needed, and therefore, let's take a look at the standings here. China suddenly in the semifinals, although Russia had a really good start into this year's Nations Cup, winning both of their first matches 3-1. And yeah, the 3-0 in the last third match there, they only needed 1 win in this and would have been in the semifinals, but the 3-0 over Hungary just kicked them out with the 3-0 of China against Ukraine. So we have our first 2 semifinalists here, Hungary and China, 2 really strong teams. And today we will decide who's one of the potential semifinalists for, I think, on Friday, and then tomorrow.
Big shout out to Team Hungary. I feel like I don't think anybody thought that Team Hungary was like a pushover or an easy team by any means, but I don't know that they were necessarily thought of up there with like Germany and USA and Canada, obviously, and China. So really cool to see them just really blaze their trail, really get in there.
Yeah, they had a rough start, right? A close lose there in match 1 against China, 3-2, but then 2 times 3-0, so definitely a force to reckon with here in the semifinals. But that's it for Group A. Now it is Group B time, USA versus France. As I said, For both teams, they kind of have to 3-0 each other to be secure in the semifinals or have a chance to be in the semifinals. Let's see what is happening. First match, just as in every round so far, will be the pauper format. So let's see if the players are ready, and then we can jump into this deciding match here.
A lot of sweeps needed for every side, so both teams bringing their brooms today. We'll see if this just goes, you know, all the way to 3-2, right? Then regardless of who wins, USA and France both wouldn't be able to make it, so could become a battle for pride here very quickly.
There we go. Both players already in it.
And Pauper has been really interesting, right? We've seen Pauper sort of, even in just this Nations Cup, establish sort of an early meta. We saw that early meta get countered, and then we basically saw people trying to counter the counter. So now it really feels like it's been thrown into a situation where basically almost anything can go in Pauper, which is really fun to see. Obviously, we see tokens, right? We see a pretty standard tokens deck here. We got tokens, we got guys to buff tokens, both health and attack. We got ways to generate more tokens, and then British for draw and board clears. And the USA and Vinny here running more of a aggressive deck. We see Soviet France, we see the fiery ambush, which might, you know, generate some HQ damage as well. We see the 2 Katyushas, so definitely going after some units here with no return damage, and then the confusions as well to maybe take advantage of some of those lower units. Those confusions against tokens are going to be really good.
That hammer is a good way to get rid of the Bryansk, but interesting choice here to bring tokens in Pauper. Like, sure, you can buff the tokens with the, what is the leftmost card there? Frontal Assault. But staring down a support line of artilleries from your opponent, not the situation you want to be in with tokens. But we'll see. Monsoon Rod also in that deck, so kind of tokens control. I mean, tokens are good if you play Monsoon Rod, right? You can just easily trade out any unit without heavy armor.
Yeah, without needing the supply shortages, right? Correct. Yeah. Which is definitely some nice synergy. But the other end of that is, are you going to be able to keep your tokens alive long enough to get them to that point? And when artillery can just sort of rain down on those tokens, you know, not taking any return damage.
Tokens coming down here, but as you said, there are already 2 artilleries here, constantly taking out those tokens.
And with the fire ambush, you know, he's got a lot of great ways. He can clear this board. He could just kill 3 units with his units, just make 3 nice trades and pass. He could use that first confusion. He could use a fiery ambush, but those are all more expensive options that are going to do more damage than just the 1 or 2 to kill these tokens. So I like Vinny going with the Rima here. Going to get some buffs, some mobilize.
Doomrod really strong here, taking out 2 of those units in the backline. Unfortunately, not able to reach the artillery.
Keeping mobilize on 1 Katyusha, though, is definitely not something that Patriarcha wants to see. You know, limited removal options in a restricted format, and that thing's just going to keep growing.
Ooh, but now he has the chance to play No Surrender into 26, give all of those tokens +2 health. And then they're not that easy of a target for the Katyushas. Also mix confusion, way worse, because you cannot really trade 1-for-1 into the tokens now.
But he draws a hammer.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah, we see 2 units that can make 2 great trades without getting hurt. And then we still have a fiery ambush that can take out a unit. Ooh, and he gets a Katyusha proc, so he only needs a sickle. There's the fiery ambush. We can't let these tokens stay alive. We can't give the tokens player things to buff. And the board is cleared again and losing some HQ damage while he's at it. Looking good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Landley's not really playable here. Maybe goes for a convoy first. 17's rifles are a really good target for any removal that Vinny has in hand here.
Yeah, there's some big boys, but they start out at 6. So, you know, you can expect to see Vinny throw that hammer down on them immediately before they can get any bigger.
Missing
And a
out
4/4 Katyusha.
That's pretty big.
And then a heavy armor tank in the front line.
This
Now the
is
6/6 does have blitz, so for 8, you know, he can get a kill on that big tank.
It's
But
only a
the
5/5,
healing,
unfortunately, so not able to take
oh,
out the
correct,
blitz
correct.
tank.
For some reason, I thought that card came out as a 6/6. I'm not sure why.
Maybe it
He's
was
gonna
back in the
rely on
day.
the smoke screen.
Yeah, Vinny has
We get
hammer
that
and the sickle in hand.
Petrarch are trying to get that 6th attack. Just gonna go face. I mean, yeah, he can go all. He can take Petrarch all the way down to 5, possibly 3 damage or health if both caddies go with their high roll proc here. Might
Yeah.
just be figuring that he's won this race.
And he can still clear the 5/7. That's just... I don't see an option. I mean, Pedriaco can double guard here. But being down to 4, he also needs to stop that Katyusha.
Yeah, and Vinny says that he is quite all right with you taking his tank.
Holding back the removal. He knows he has lethal with that Katyusha.
Yeah, and I just don't see. I mean, we can see his hand. We know that there is nothing that's going to stop that Katyusha, but I'm not sure that there's anything in this tokens deck. Perhaps another hammer, if he could find his another hammer.
There we go. Tokens once again not too successful here in Nations Cup. Although Pedriaco had a good start there with the light infantries in hand. But yeah, the Katyusha is just too good and too many of them to just, yeah, keep them in check.
Yeah, we've seen this whole Nations Cup, right? Anytime you get into a restricted format, anything that doesn't take return damage, arties and bombers are going to be great, basically because they don't take return damage. And then your methodology for removing things like that is probably going to be stifled. There's going to be situations where you're playing Pauper and, you know, there's not a ton of great removal options that are below special. Or maybe you're playing Pure War and, you know, there's basically no removal options outside of orders, save for maybe a Decimo or a couple of specific deployment effects. So
Yeah, so
I don't expect it to
bombers,
change.
yeah, exactly. Like, bombers and artillery are kind of the key essential, and whoever plays them first and is maybe able to guard them is having a really good chance in this match.
And we've seen a guarded Pedoyakov basically like win a match by itself, right?
Yeah,
Already. So,
yeah.
and that's not even, you know, limited to just a restricted format. We've seen that happen in high level tournament play as well.
Okay, so that was match number 1, Pauper format. Now we will have Legacy. And Legacy, all the cards are allowed, even rotated cards. And we've seen a lot of Brit Air in the past and Jagro in the last week. I'm excited to see what players bring up today here. If it just be those really strong decks, or if, yeah, people try to put counters to that.
And we've seen a lot of Aaron Feigned, you know, they were really great decks in their time in their meta. And now in a legacy format where you can bring even tools that they didn't have access to in their heyday, we've seen them just look unstoppable. Brit Air, of course, though, you can always lose with Brit Air because you can always just draw not airplanes to start. And a
That's
handful of buffs with no planes isn't
my
going to
bird
get you
air
anywhere.
experience usually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What? Those players are ready, but not in match yet. That's interesting. Oh, maybe they're waiting for my go.
I believe this means that, unfortunately for France, they have technically been eliminated. The U.S. is still alive here with a good Pauper win. Definitely going to try to win this legacy game and keep this going. Corn Guy, great legacy player, guy who actually occasionally plays in the legacy queue in game. It's not called legacy in game, right?
Yeah,
What's
it's
it called?
just what it casual. I don't know.
Yeah, they have a name for it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Reserved.
No. Is it standard? Is it casual? Is it? I don't know. Maybe Chat can help out, but we will know in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we just see Brit Air versus Jagger here. Exactly what we kind of called. Really dominant.
Swordfish though on the Japan side. My inside knowledge of corn leads me to believe that this is
Oh
actually
yeah. You're
Japan
correct.
Air.
Yeah. I was just seeing the raiding brigade. Also, just the what is it? What is the 3 credit order?
That is an under fire, I believe.
Under fire. Yeah.
And you can see that Corn has already put down a type, so now he is going to be able to not only get some AoE pin, tiny bits of AoE damage with that under fire, but for one more credit, he's going to be able to just take a unit kill with it. And here I would expect to see, the raiding brigade perhaps. Holding bombing rate already, the Albacore is going to be really susceptible to getting blown out by that. So, yep, I expect him to see him take the Swordfish out with that 1 extra health. Even if Bison is able to find a close air support and get that Albacore up to 3, obviously, not too much trouble when you're holding a bomb raid. Really not great options for Bison here. He's got plenty of options. This is good stuff to play, but another Albacore. This is, all of his both Albacores, both of his pins gone, pinning units that really weren't threats. Not able to combo those with his Type 94K to pull off a kill. Obviously, throwing down a Paris C on a 2-2 rating brigade is also not fun.
Ooh, juicy bombing rate here. I mean,
On
at least he
curve.
found targets for his Albacores, right? Usually, against the air deck, you don't have too many targets, so got something out of it. But that bombing rate, but the Swordfish top deck here. But this hand from Bison here, oh my god, kind of awkward. And this 0 coming down here.
And it's been good for Bison as well. Like if you ask the Brit Air player, you're gonna, in your first 5 turns have 2 or 3 Swordfishes, 2 Albacores, Monty in your hand, they're probably not gonna complain. A type to combine with the Albacores, but it just hasn't shaped up for Bison. Finally draws a close air support. Only one bomber.
I think he needs to sacrifice Monty surprise attack here to get rid of the 0.
And this is really interesting counterplay by Korn. Always been a big fan of Japan Air or Tribal Aichi, as he has called it many times. Full pass from Bison is wild. So basically, what Korn's going into thinking this game is that Japan Air is a good legacy deck period with some good matchups, but it's a great counter for Brit Air because you're just going to have fighters that are going to block those bombers and fighters that can stand up to the British fighters in a strong fight as well. So this is we're seeing big stuff here. We're seeing burst. This is how Aichi Tribal works. I guarantee you, Corn Guy has the dumbest smile on his face right now. He loves this deck so much.
So for Bison, kind of pays out to that he held back the Monty here. He should get draw out of it now, but the situation not really improving. Still has a full
Yeah,
hand, but yeah, what can he do? No Empire Strikes here to clear the board. Kind of
I
awkward
was gonna say, I
situation.
think he's gonna end up searching for an Empire here with Monty and the convoy. He's got one bomber. After some of these orders, the Wellington is going to be cheaper. So he can maybe try to set up that Empire play next turn. Putting a bomber down now. Putting both bombers down now. Is he going to draw or just throw in his buff?
It goes
If he's
surprise
going to
attack now.
draw
What
here,
would he take
yeah,
out?
yeah,
That one.
that makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say, I really hope that he's not about to draw at the very end of this extremely long play. But of course, Bison, way too good for that.
A good one. Air superiority found here.
And we're also getting close, you know, it's turn 8, turn 10, that Kika can slam face.
Yeah, also the Admiral Yamamoto or Yamato, I always mix them up. That is another +1 attack on airplanes and also gives them blitz.
All right, and we see Korn bust that under fire surprise attack combo we spoke of earlier. Air subs the other bomber. Doesn't have anything to attack with, obviously, with his 2 pinned bombers, but no fighters here. Top decking a fighter for Bison going to be really good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the RAF. Some excellent draws here.
Yeah, several options now. He could go. I mean, Raf probably the best one here because it's also giving you a fighter and blocks the other IG. Could also
Well, he
go
could.
Wellington and then Gladiator maybe.
Or even just the Kitty Hawk,
Or
right? He
Kitty
could Wellington, the bomber that he can attack, Kitty Hawk the base for the 3 damage, and then thereby block the second Aichi. Oh, he's not going to get that 2 damage to face.
Doesn't care too much, I guess, but yeah, most
very
importantly, it's a
interesting,
fighter.
evasive.
Oh my god.
Oh, lovely. Lovely draws here for Korn. Probably going to take the fighter out and then maybe trade into the Wellington.
Well, you
But
just go
maybe not
face and have
because,
lethal next turn, right?
because of Kika, there's no way, there's nothing, right, that can block that Kika in a Brit Air deck. The
Not
best
really,
case
no.
would be maybe to Sexton it, but it's already gonna have done its deal.
Oh
Huge
wait, that
shelling.
delays one turn, that shelling.
Huge shelling is gonna make Korn have to wait a whole nother turn for it. It's gonna buy him a lot of time for Bison. And Bison can do 7 damage to face here himself.
That is a really close one here. We definitely need to see shelling, otherwise Bison
Yeah, he
is...
doesn't know, but if he does not shelling, he is dead.
Okay, that's it, I guess. Kika
Takes
comes
the face
down.
damage. Looks like a good play, but unfortunately it's just not.
So I think the Aichi would have also been lethal here with the Admiral Yamato. Then with the other, there would be 6 attack. So did not matter in the end, but that kicker closing out the game here. And giving Team USA 2-0 lead. And they're only 1 win away now from a guaranteed spot in the semifinals.
It's all on Singleton, and as a bit of an insider here for the U.S., I can tell you the Singleton deck might have been the one that they have thought about the most. It's probably the one that has caused the most consternation and the most practice reps. And I believe we are seeing, due to some scheduling, we are seeing Chaotic Poison come in for Starry here. So the stage is set for Chaotic Poison to go into hero mode here.
So I expect a lot of trash talk from Baron in the chat now.
That's true. Baron's gonna be quite upset if if Chaotic Poison goes from bench roll to hero, pushing US into the finals.
That would
For
be a good
revenge on
storyline, yeah. Can Chaotic do it? You already mentioned it. It's pure war format. That means only units are allowed. No, not only units. No orders are allowed. So you can also play countermeasures and units, obviously, but no orders allowed. And yeah, we've just seen artillery and also countermeasures being pretty important in this format.
Yeah, stuff as simple as careless talk. When there's no other removal, no orders at all, can be really fierce.
All right, works. Waiting for the players.
Pad versus Poison, also very interesting matchup here.
It was last week in pure war format where we saw this guarded Perlyakov taking out the whole German deck, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, this was insane to watch. See what we are going to see today. Chaotic already in queue. For Pad.
Perhaps taking a extra second. At this point, truly playing for pride here. France, and more so Pad, does not want to be the guy that just ushers the US into the finals. He does not want the US to be in the finals off of his back.
Hello. So, since we're waiting for the players to queue into the match, how's the passport situation going? Did you already receive it?
Oh yeah, actually, we
Nice.
are all good. I don't know if that was said specifically.
Nice.
Yeah, we are all booked up. Planes purchased, plane tickets purchased, accommodations reserved.
And as I heard that the corn guy is joining you as
Yes, I believe Corn Guy will be in country with me for moral support. We hope to have maybe even a larger team heavy presence, but obviously it's a little daunting of a task to get to Iceland on short notice. So, but super excited to see everybody, to see even just the set. I've actually gone back and watched the 2001 World Championship, not necessarily the matches, just to like sort of see the sets in the green room again. It's very exciting.
yeah, definitely
They do a
looking
great
forward
job.
to
It
it.
looks The presentation of the World Finals is very top notch.
Yeah, with the budget they have, I mean, that's just very high quality. I agree. I really like the small studio, what they are just able to do with all these cameras and 5,000 cables. It's just incredible what they're doing there. All right, so
And
what's
playing? Oh, go
yeah?
ahead.
No, just
Playing head to head as the 2021 finals was, right? It's a small table with two computer setups, and like you can see the eyes of your opponent directly over that monitor. This isn't, you're not in your comfortable bedroom, maybe not even wearing a shirt with your coffee in your early morning tournament game. This is, you can see and probably smell and hear J King. He's right there. I think that's
yeah,
it's a
also you're
bit of a
just
difference.
sitting on some wooden chair, so it's not too comfortable, right? It's not your PC, you have to get to your settings, and yeah, it's a completely different situation than just sitting at home. And I can really feel, yeah, the players having a lot of pressure there. But it's also nice you just see the direct emotions, right? I can remember Darkness after 2021 finals just running straight to the bathroom because he just needed a minute there after losing such an exhausting and long final. It's a way better experience. Also, just for the casters, you can just chat at the break fast and just, yeah, let all these feelings of the players sink into you and take them with you into the casting. Know what the players are thinking. That's really cool that all the players are just there in Iceland this year again. And it looks like Pat left us. I don't know.
December 2nd and 3rd. Throw the dates out for the dev. I'm sure they'd be excited.
Interesting. Pat is not responding. Okay. We really want to see chaotic poison in action here, so please, Pat. All right, there we go. Need some time. There we go. Is this the deciding match here? A really good starting hand for Pat with the Gebirgs Pioneers and going first.
No, Mulligan just slams it. Says those 4 cards are great. Thank you.
And Chaotic also with a great hand here. Gebirgs Pioneers as well.
Does not put his own Gebirgs down. Instead chooses to go for the Careless, thinking maybe he can catch a big unit that Pad's using that extra money to buy. And he'll get a Teeth 34. That's pretty good.
Yeah, good decision here on not playing the Gebirgs Pioneers. With the opponent having 3 credits available, there's just too much options that you lose your Gebirgs Pioneers. Then I think you're kind of in an awkward situation. But the anti-tank, I'm pretty strong here against the Greyhound.
But that extra dollar allowing you to get a 5th Rangers to the front line on turn 3 is very, very nice.
That's pretty annoying here, but the Bryansk keeping
interesting.
He check.
Chooses to take the kill from the Greyhound to use the passive text of that extra tank damage. I would have rather seen him go for the Gebirgs and take that extra dollar away. The 5th Rangers are already in the front line, so you're not stopping Sherman draw or anything like that. So I think I would have rather seen him try to affect the economy a little bit there.
Yeah, especially with Greyhound on 3 attack and this Atari having ambush, so would not have been able to attack into this anti-tank gun anyways. Now there's a good 101st here.
Pretty nice by Chaotic here, though. He gets that extra damage on the Artie, so now the 1 5th Rangers will have to trade with the Bryansk, and the 2nd 5th Rangers will kill the Artie, but the 2-5 is going to be able to get a really nice value trade there.
Yeah, and this Naval Rifle will bring it down to 4, so it's not surviving the attack there. The Pat slowly running out of stuff here, needs a Sherman soon. Because other than that, I think maybe Martyr is an additional draw option. But other than that, since there are no orders allowed, you don't have too much draw in this format.
Yeah, if Poison can...
Oh. Why is there?
Take the front line in a way that he can kind of keep it, as I assume Pat is going to rely on Sherman draw at some point. It's very possible that his hand just gets crushed. Nice. Great job of Pat playing around the Careless Talk. Doesn't lose his PIR to that.
Add out of
now
cards.
Looks like we're going to go Nebel for Nebel here.
Oh, Bryansk is huge right here.
Great US top deck to get these these Arties guarded. P40 is a great play. Certainly going to make Comet extremely annoying.
Yeah, with a +2 increase on the operation cost, it can only come down on turn 8 as long as this fighter is on board.
Both players kind of ignoring the Gebirgs at this point, just content to let both guys have that extra money because there's not that much to spend it on. What a pool. Doesn't even mind spending the extra dollar to attack. And what a great way to get around P40. P40 only affects the original version. The original version goes up to veteran. And therefore does not have to deal with that gimp of the extra 2 op cost.
Both players almost out of cards in hand. Oh, please go for the artillery, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I would definitely not like to see that trade. Another Bryansk top deck for Team USA. That's all 3 Bryansks in the first 8 or 9 turns. That's a really, really big get for them. Not going to be too sad to have his Artie shooting for 3. It's not fun, but there are far worse ways to go.
Hellcat top deck for pad. What can this do? Too much.
Super vulnerable to that anti-tank artillery on the table as well.
That can take out the Brians, but this will just leave him with an empty board. Can maybe go the Bryansk and then Hellcat goes Schützen, but yeah, how do you win with this? Maybe hold back the Hellcat, but you can't hold it back. Oh, you really need a draw. Now he's in a really awkward situation here.
Chooses to take both. Have to imagine that he wipes the 5-2. No, he holds the Hellcat back. I got figuring, you can go to the front line, so the whole nother turn before that's truly a worry for Pad. But it is shaping up good here for the USA sweep. And you can tell he was thinking about commenting there, but that's okay.
Comes down. Maybe Skytrain can deliver some good units here. Red Devils is not too bad. But Comet takes out the Skytrain. Artillery is waiting in the back line there.
This will make it a little interesting, as it seems that Poison's only going to be able to get 2 damage on that Red Devils. If Pad was able to top deck a Sherman here,
Oh, air defense.
not a bad get.
Good way to stop
Not
Comet,
exactly
but
what he's looking for, but
yeah.
It will kill a unit no matter what he chooses to attack with. Oh, draw bomber. Huge for poison. That's okay. It's definitely not, what he wanted from air defense there. He really wanted his draw an extra $1. So good read by Pad, but
Red Devil's still alive.
Can't imagine it's gonna matter. Another Gerbergs.
Not what you want to draw on turn 12.
Never seeing a Sherman in the first 12 turns. And that has to sink Team France's hopes. Another Nebel and Leo. It's just all already here in the back line for Team US. Except for that fighter that you just can't kill. And this is just looking awful.
Oh wait, this
just a matter of
wait,
time.
what is this?
Oh, Poison making a bit of a rookie mistake here.
Where is Baron in chat?
I was gonna say I think Baron von Glower might have something to say about that. But it's not gonna matter. The US is so far ahead in this match that even a mistake like that, wasting 6 credits, isn't gonna take effect. And you can see Ad just says, I don't need to see this. At the very end, I'm good. Ridiculous you can make a mistake like that and it doesn't matter.
I'm not sure if this was on purpose or an accident
by Team US.
Yeah, absolutely what they needed. 3-0 And we're just going to take a look at the standings here, and we see Team US ranked number 2. So for tomorrow, Canada needs to win 3-0 actually, since USA won against Canada. So in a direct tiebreaker. If they win 3-1, like if Canada wins 3-1 over Germany, they would both have 8 wins and 5 losses. But USA winning against Canada in the, I think it was last week, would give them the advantage there. And if Canada wins, let's say 3-0, they would be in front of USA, right? No, wait, what am I? Yeah, but then Germany, yeah, okay. They would be in front, but Germany would be on rank 3 then.
A lot of ways that all of this can still shake out here. Definitely still some things to be played for, but the U.S. came in today with, a mission, one goal. There was only one way to get in. It had to be the 3-0. They spent a lot of time really thinking about what France could bring or might bring, and a lot of time thinking about how can we truly counter those 3 decks or counter for those 3 matches. And it, just pays off dividends here.
Absolutely. They had a plan, they executed the plan, and find themselves in the semifinals, which will take part on Friday. And tomorrow we will see if it's whether Germany or Canada who's joining Team USA in them semifinals. So make sure to not miss that. Danatron, thank you for being here. Congrats to your team to advancing to this year's Nations Cup semifinals. Hope to see you in another one, and hope to see you guys once again tomorrow. Stay hydrated, good luck on the battlefield, and see you then. Bye bye.